Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel JP30 93 Classic review. Today we're taking a look at the electronic real feel Tyrannosaurus Rex. It would be an understatement to say that fans have been clamoring for Mattel to do a Red Rex ever since they got the Jurassic Park license. Well, they finally delivered for Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary, and what a love letter to the old classic Kenner toy, which is still an all-time classic figure, right down to the packaging, to the figure itself. This is a really, really cool looking T-Rex. Now, since this is part of the 93 Classic line, it means it's exclusive to Target stores in the US. The pre-orders still don't have a date yet, even though you can find these in stores right now. Actually, I drive quite a bit to find this one. I like the fish a lot, so I drove 40 minutes north of me, and there was a Target near there. Said it was in stock. Walked in, there was one on the shelf, so I got lucky. I'm sure this figure is going to be everywhere once supply starts catching up with demand. So, don't lose hope tracking down this figure. It retails for $49.99. And I'm going to leave that Target listing down below in the description. So let's go over this beautiful packaging really quick before we take out this gorgeous figure and take a closer look at it. I'm going to pop the camera off the tripod. This way we can get nice and close and check this out. We got the 93 Classic logo front and center just above the Rex's head. On the top, we have the image of how the raw feature works. Big arrow pointing to it. Nice, soft, real feel skin. We got T-Rex down here. And then slide over here, we got the Jurassic Park logo front and center with this beautiful old-style Kenner Jurassic Park sunset background with the gates all nice and silhouetted. And then spinning the figure around, we get a nice classic product shot reminiscent of those old Kenner packaging of the T-Rex, and a beautiful diorama, all the features that the figure comes with. And down here is the rest of the 93 Classic line. I did also pick up a Scutosaurus set yesterday, so I'll be reviewing that very shortly on the channel. We got the Malcolm and Grant set. So yeah, really digging what Mattel is doing for the 30th anniversary. Hopefully we get more retro sets in the future, because there is a lot of potential to do some really cool things. So enough about the packaging. Let's crack this Red Rex open and take a closer look. And here is the Red Rex out of the packaging. And what an absolutely gorgeous looking figure. I've been dying for a Red Rex, a modern version of it, for a very long time. And Mattel definitely delivered with this toy. It's just a perfect homage to the old Kenner Rex. And I just love how this thing turned out. I have really no complaints about this figure. I know some people are kind of unhappy when they saw it. Oh, it's just a repaint of one of Mattel's like many Rexes. Of course it's going to be. I mean, their Rexes are a lot better than the Kenner ones. At least these look movie accurate. I think they hit all the points perfectly. Yeah, the red coloration is a little bit vivid, but I'm okay with that. It has all the dark markings, the bright green underbelly, just everything about this thing just screams Kenner, and I absolutely dig this thing. It just looks gorgeous from top to bottom. And now for some measurements. This figure is a whopping 22 inches long from the tip of the snout to the tip of the tail, or 55.8 centimeters, and 7.5 inches tall to the top of the head, or 19 centimeters. So the Jurassic Park T-Rex is estimated between 38 to 43 feet long, or 11.5 to 13.2 meters. So I'll put this figure somewhere in the 120 to the 123 scale range. And let's zoom and take a look at that beautiful head sculpt. Mattel nailed the T-Rex head sculpt with their very first figure, and that trend continues with this one. You have a lot of nice molded detail all over the head. The head is actually made out of hard plastic. The rest of the body is that soft rubber material. You can see all the dark markings contrasting with that bright, vivid red. The eye is done bright yellow with a black pupil. The original Kenner one had a little bit of green on the iris. I kind of wish they would put a little bit on there to kind of make it look more like that, but it's just a minor nitpick. Opening the mouth up, the teeth are plastic insert, so you don't have to worry about sloppy paint. Got the same style gums and tongues that we've seen on the 8 million Rex figures that Mattel has released. Here is a view of Rexy from the front. Man, my camera does not like it when stuff goes in close, but yeah, you get that nice binocular vision. And then going back to the rest of the body, you see more of those dark markings with all that bright red. Going down to the arms, the hand claws are not painted in, which is okay this time, because on the Kenner Rex, the hand claws were not painted in. So, Mattel doesn't like to paint claws on most of their figures. So this time it actually worked out in their favor. And then going down to the body, there's some nice folds and wrinkles all over the place. You have that bright, vivid, bright green underbelly. It goes to about the first, third of the tail, going down to the hind legs, more of those dark markings. You got the giant, oversized T-Rex feet that Mattel is known for. The toe claws are decked out in glossy black paint, and then spin the figure around to the other side. You do have a little trapdoor right here that gives you the scan code for those of you that want to scan this into the fax app. Close that right up, and then going down to the tail. The rest of the tail is all soft rubber material. The legs, arms, and head are hard plastic, which is a compromise. I know a lot of people like to see this thing fully rubberized, but I think it has much better stability with these solid plastic legs. And let's just do a quick view of the top of the figure. You can see all those nice markings that actually go all the way down to pretty much the whole tail. Nice that Mattel is painting the tail on this figure. And now for articulation, it's pretty basic on this figure. Mouth can open up all the way like that. And then you do have some flexibility with the rubber hollow neck. Going down to the arms, you move forwards and backwards. They are on a hinge, which allows them to swing out. Hind legs can move forwards and backwards. You have a pretty loud locking point right there to keep the figure in that neutral position. And you do have a hip pivot. There is like a wire mechanism in this tail that allows some flexibility, but it does keep the tail bent a little bit, but get all nice and crinkled looking. That reminds you of the Kenner figure, just using hand to kind of sort that back out to get the tail looking nice and straight. So that is it for articulation. Let's move on to action features. There's a button hidden underneath the rubber right above the hips, so you can get some nice T-Rex sound effects. I don't know what the hell that last one is, but that is not a T-Rex. It kind of sounds like some kind of like duck-billed dinosaur or a triceratops. No idea why they added that sound effect. There's plenty of different T-Rex roars they could have added on there, but I just don't know why that one's on there. That is probably my biggest complaint about the figure. And my favorite feature on this figure is the entire mouth is hollow, which allows the figure to swallow smaller figures. Let's use poor little Bumpy here as some cannon fodder. It goes all the way down to the belly, and then there is a slit along the belly to retrieve the lost figure. Now this feature is reminiscent. It's a little tight to get your fingers in there, especially adult hands. You just pull it out, and there you go. You got your little victim retrieve, but it's reminiscent of the Lost World Bull T-Rex action feature. Hopefully in the future we'll get a Bull T-Rex that is rubberized and features the same action feature where you can just shove the animals down the throat and pull them out of the belly. And you can also shove human figures down this T-Rex. In case any of you are wondering, this figure features a whopping 4 Owen capacity. You can just keep shoving those Owens in. You can get them pretty much all the way in. Just a little bit of the feetsies sticking out. And moving on with comparisons, first up, here it is with the 93 Classic Alan Grant. And next up, here it is with the OG Kenner Red Rex. You can see the Kenner one is a lot bigger than Mattel's version, but Mattel stands up a lot better with those solid plastic legs. Much more, stable figure. I still absolutely love this toy. This is one of my favorite dinosaur toys when I was growing up as a kid. And I'm surprised it's still in decent shape because I took this thing everywhere with me. But yeah, I gotta give Mattel props. This is a great homage to this original classic toy. And next up, let's do one of Mattel's classic T-Rex figures. There's so many of them. I think this is the Dino Escape Stomping T-Rex. I don't know anymore. There's so many of them. And in case you're wondering, the capture gear does fit nicely on the new Red Rex. Let's do a few Hammond collection figures. Here it is with the Velociraptor, Gallimimus, and the Dilophosaurus. And let's get the Triceratops out here really quick. We are finally getting a larger Triceratops. I forgot what the line is called that's coming out in, but I've been dying for a larger Triceratops for a very long time. I'm finally glad Mattel is delivering on that. And next up, here it is with the Spinosaurus. I'm sure it's a matter of time before we get a Hammond collection version of the Spino, and I wonder if Mattel's going to do any retro stuff for the Jurassic Park 3 line. It'd be pretty cool to get a rubberized, animatronic, modern take on the Spinosaurus toy. You know what? Let's do one more T-Rex figure. Here is Beast of the Mesozoic take on a accurate looking T-Rex, and yeah, this figure dwarfs the Mattel version. And lastly, let's finish it off with the Hammond T-Rex, Hammond Collection T-Rex comparison. Still would love to see the Hammond Collection Rex get repainted in the red Rex color. Who knows, maybe that'll happen sometime in the near future. So final thoughts on the real feel electronic T-Rex. Mattel did a great job paying tribute to the original Kenner version. The rubberized skin feels really, really good. It's enhanced stability by those fully plastic legs. The hard plastic head. Love the action feature of being able to shove stuff down its throat and yank it out its belly. The raw function works really good, except for that one random raw that is not a T-Rex raw. That is just driving me absolutely insane. But if you're a fan of Jurassic Park and grew up with the Kenner's toys, this figure is an absolute must add to your collection. I'm so happy Mattel actually did it, and this figure did not disappoint at all. Now, like I said at the beginning of the review, the 93 Classic line is exclusive to Target stores in the US. I'll leave the link down below in the description. They should be popping up in stores a lot more frequency now, since they just started showing up, and I'm sure as time go on, these figures will be clogging the shelves in no time. So that will do it for the review. Still gonna get to the Scutosaurus review, the Hammond Collection Pachycephalosaurus, and I actually found the Nothosaurus. That figure drove me absolutely insane to find, and I randomly found it at Best Buy the other day. So I'll be reviewing that figure that's been out for, what, 3 or 4 months now. So be on the lookout for all those reviews. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously and is greatly appreciated. I'll see you guys for the next one.